I
So
believe
exciting.
we are live now.
All right. Can you
We
see
should
us?
be.
Can you hear us? How
I
exciting.
haven't been able to confirm that yet. Hold on.
All right. Is it too early? Alan just wrote roll call. He didn't even give us a meme or any of the GIF. I mean, come on. What's up with that? Now that's what we're looking for, Al. Now we can do it.
Okay.
All right. I'm going with roll
we
call,
do.
whether we're live or not. We've got Seamus and Brett and Kevin and Fallen C, and I can't remember your name. Dagnabbit. And Mike and Jill and Ed and John and Rick and Sandy and Steve and Al. And I heard a rumor that Wheels was here. Oh, there he is. Wheels is in the corner. We've got Frank rolling in the rear. Oh, we've got Rose is here as well. Very good, very good, very good.
So it's Fallen from Seattle.
Oh, Fallen from Seattle.
Yes.
But what's Fallen's Fallen's first name?
I believe so. Fallen is,
okay.
is his first name.
I think Aaliyah without the H is here, possibly. She's online somewhere. I don't know whether she's in here.
I think she's here. She's in another Zoom meeting, but I think she's time multiplexing.
We'll accept it. All right. Did I just see somebody steal in? Nope. We're good. All right. We've got the weather taken care of. Jimmy Fallon. Good. Let me do a little test recording here. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeed.com. Let's see how that sounds. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast. Oh, those are dulcet tones. That just doesn't get better than that unless it's like, I don't know, Alistair. All right. If everybody's good, sounds good from Sandy. I think we're gonna hit it. Let's get started.
What'd you lose? The video. It's around here somewhere.
All right. Well, I'm going to start recording, so you need to leave the scene.
I can't control things because I've lost.
Oh, you've lost which window?
It moved. It moved to my other display. Just boom. I'm not sure how it did that.
Okay. All right. You all right?
I'm all right. Are you all right?
Okay, I'm good. Actually, I do know there's a bug. I know Dave Hamilton and I see it all the time, and I had it before and after the wipe on my drive, and I'm not on Ventura, but where you tap on a window and it just jumps like a lot in space.
That's what it seemed to have done.
Yeah.
It moved to my other display.
I haven't seen it move to the other display, but I've seen it. Usually it moves like down and over, maybe like 2/3 of the size of the screen. It's pretty dramatic and annoying as all get out, as it turns out. All right. I need you to leave, Steve. All right, here we go. I'm big. Is that the way we do it now? Wow. I got to tell a joke. That reminds me of a buddy of mine was doing a presentation at a big users group, and there's about, 1,200 people. He's standing on stage, and he's got this massive monitor behind him, and they zoomed in on him, so it was like just his head there, and he turned around and he went, "Whoa, that's a whole lot of ugly up there." I always think of that when I see a big screen. All right, back to business. Here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeed.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, November 13th, 2022, and this is show 914. Well, last week I gave you 3 articles, 2 of which were long and very chewy. This week I thought I'd go easy on you, so we've got 4 short, easy to digest articles, plus security bits with Bart, which is always fun. Before we get into all the fun, I want to remind you to send in your "I'm still using it" stories. The idea is to try to surface those things in tech that you're still using after many, many years. This is very low pressure. You don't have to do any recording unless you want to, and you can just write a couple of paragraphs about it. I'll be reading these on the show, and my hope is to have enough to cover the time we'll be taking off during Thanksgiving and Christmas. So please look around your office or your house for tech gadgets, maybe it's something in your car, something that seems to still help you after a long time. Or maybe it's a piece of software that still delights you even though it's not the new shiny. I have 6 stories so far, but I could use a lot more. If you help me out and let me tell your stories, I can have more relaxed holidays and everyone gets full shows with no reruns like other shows do. Send your emails to me at allison@podfeed.com and make sure the title is "I'm still using it," and that way my email rules will be able to find it. All right.
How about pen and paper?
Yes,
Not-
you could do. You can write an article about pen and paper if you like. So
Is that tech enough?
I did start looking at fixing the script, but oh no, it's not doing anything. Oh, come on. It was partially working before. Why does this keep changing? I don't. Uh-oh. I don't know why it keeps changing, Grumpy. Macro canceled. Good. All right, let's try it again. I hit Grumpy, made the first beep. It did not bring Mars edit forward, even though it was bringing Mars edit forward before.
I thought you had to do that manually.
Hang on, it worked. Yeah, we've been experimenting with ways to get it to come back forward, and in our small experiments, it does work. So I don't know why it worked just now. So shh, don't tell anybody it worked. Don't say it out loud. Don't scare it away.
It's a secret.
Yeah. This week's Chit Chat Across the Pond is an episode of Programming by Stealth because Bart and I are back from summer vacation and we kicked back into gear on PBS. As you may remember, we've been learning all of the tools we need to rewrite, test, and document Bart's password generation library, XKPassWD, moving it from Perl to JavaScript. In order to start the rewrite, we need to understand the structure of the code we're going to write. And instead of writing up long text requirements documents, we're going to be using a standard software diagramming language called UML diagrams. In particular, Bart is teaching us how to use UML class diagrams. I should say how to create and read and understand them. Bart will probably do most of the diagramming himself as he dusts off decades-old code and tries to remember how he did things, but we do need to learn how to read UML class diagrams ourselves, so it'll be another tool in our tool belt. Not just for this exercise, but for reading anyone else's diagrams. Most podcasts would stick to everyday examples, but not here at the Podfeed Podcast. Instead, Bart will teach us some particle physics along the way, and you get that for free with this installment of Programming by Stealth. You can find Bart's fabulous tutorial show notes at pbs.bartificer.net. And there's a direct link in the show notes. And of course, you can find Programming by Stealth in your podcatcher of choice. Where else can you learn some particle physics, you know?
Yeah. Love particle physics.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. What can I get another chapter mark here? Let's see. I think clicking to make it come forward is working. Yeah, if I click to make it come forward, it works.
Where? Clicking
after I hit the start the macro, if I actively make Mars edit come to the foreground, then the macro works.
In other words, by clicking on Mars edit?
Yeah, no, I didn't used to have to do that, but that does seem to be that seems to be fixing it. So
well,
we knew that last week, and what we were trying to figure out is why is Mars edit not coming forward? And that's the piece that I just have not had time to work on. And I don't know when I'm going to be able to for the next couple of weeks. I'm finishing a video for Don that's due tomorrow, and then we're gone to see Steve's parents for 3 days. And then we got the weekend. I got 2 days to write the entire show for next week. And then it's Thanksgiving. So we will see.
Better get on that.
That picture Jill just posted, that's a real photo. She was there. An overhead flimsy
Wow, I didn't
projector.
know they still use those.
Actually, that's what you should write yours about, Jill. I'm still using it. Kids ask your parents. All right, I'm going to record now, Steve. This week, I was very busy being on other people's podcasts as well. I was lucky enough to get to join Bart's Let's Talk Apple podcast along with Scott Wilsey. That was really fun because Scott and I have conversed forever online. I mean, he's like a household name in my brain here, but we had never met in real life. And yes, we define being on these video shows together as real life, because if we don't, that would say that Bart is not my real life friend. So we know that's not true. Anyway, the three of us had great fun together as we took a measured look at the October Apple news. It's really fun to take that long view rather than, racing to be the first to get opinions out there. Check out Let's Talk Apple in your podcatcher of choice. I want to check that gap. It looks like it might be a little bit long. Podcatcher of choice. This week, I was very busy. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Another chapter mark. Copy link. Copy. I'm happy enough to do that. Get it to work. Okay.
If it works and it's repeatable.
Yeah, it's just a tiny bit more work, but not bad at all. I also got to join Rob Dunwood and Chris Ashley on the SMR podcast while Rod Simmons was on vacation. I always have fun hanging out with these guys, but this episode was particularly enjoyable. I don't know what it was, but we were laughing, we were debating, we stayed close to on topic, and I could not stop smiling the whole time. There's even a great point in the show where Rob is asking me which iPad he should get, and we basically come to the conclusion that he probably doesn't need an iPad, he needs an M2 MacBook Air. I am still waiting to see if he's going to pull the trigger and finally get into the Mac world. Anyway, check out the SMR podcast in your podcatcher of choice and look out for episode 569, Humane Decommissioning. That was a phrase, I'll spoil this a little bit, but we had a couple of friends over. She works for Google, and he works for Amazon, and they both work in cloud services. And I was giving her a hard time for the fact that Google always quits everything. And she said, "Are you talking about Stadia?" And I said, "Well, yeah, that's the latest example. That was ridiculous." And she says, "Yeah, but we did humane decommissioning." I was like, "Humane decommissioning? What do you mean by that?" And she goes, "Well, like we helped the developers and we refunded some money and we did a graceful shutdown."
Unlike those murders they do of the other apps.
Yeah,
almost humane.
It was very, very funny. I just loved it. And so I that's why the article is named that. All right, let me do a chapter mark here and press a button and click over here, copy link, copy, and it worked again. Well, we're up to 4 already and I haven't even started doing anything. Okay, so this is going to be Satechi first. Oh, shoot. At some point when I'm yapping, Steve, can you go get the little drone? Because that's going to be one of the articles. I think it's downstairs in the charging station.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay. Come on. A few weeks ago, I told you about how I added more USB-C charging ports to my desk setup with the 4-port Satechi GAN charger. When I need to do the live show away from home, I also need more USB-C ports. I need 4 of them. I need to be able to plug in my Logitech C920 webcam, the Logitech Litra Grow. Sorry, get that right yet. No, we're going to start over. A few weeks ago, I told you about how I added more USB-C charging ports to my desk setup with the 4-port Satechi GAN charger. When I do the live show away from home, I need a lot of USB-C ports then too. I need exactly 4. I need to be able to plug in my Logitech C920 webcam, the Logitech Litra Glow Lite, a USB microphone interface, and a portable USB-C display. I like the 15.6-inch Cocoa Bar that I got a while ago. Well, my 2016 15-inch MacBook Pro had 4 USB-C ports. In 2019, I got the 16-inch MacBook Pro. It had 4 USB-C ports. But the geniuses at Apple removed one of those USB-C ports when they introduced the M1 MacBooks Pro. They replaced the 4th port with a MagSafe charging port instead. On a Mac that hardly ever needs to be charged, that's a big loss. And if I didn't want to use that port, or if I did want to use that port on travel, it forces me to carry an extra proprietary cable to use. And don't even get me started on the HDMI and SD card slots. I ranted about this extensively in 2021, so I will not repeat all that, but I want you to know that I'm still annoyed because I do not have 4 USB-C ports. My only solution for the live show on the road was to find a USB-C hub that would add more USB-C ports. I was very surprised at how hard it was to find a hub with just USB-C ports. All of the vendors wanted to give me HDMI and micro SD and SD and even old school USB-A ports, which I do not want. They advertised things they had 7 ports, but these were not the ports I was looking for. I hunted literally for months. Finally, I found the perfect solution, and again, it's from Satechi. They sell a 4-port USB-C hub that also connects via USB-C. This is the perfect solution for me. The hub is a 2¼ inch square that's only 1/4 inch thick, which is just barely thick enough to sport 2 USB-C ports on each of 2 sides. Coming out of one of the other sides is a permanently connected 8-inch long USB-C cable. I like that it has a cable so the hub isn't suspended in the air, stuck to the side of my laptop like some hubs. By having 4 USB-C ports and connecting via USB-C, I have a net gain of 3 useful ports. No silly USB-A ports, no more micro SD, and no more HDMI. I think it's ironic that people around me complain about having to use dongles to use their old school USB-A devices on Macs built after 2015, and here I am having to buy a dongle to use my new school USB-C devices. The 4-port USB-C hub from Satechi was $80 when I bought it, but now it's down to $40. Even if you don't need it today, you may very well need it someday in the future. I bought mine directly from Satechi, but you can also find it on Amazon for the same $40. I don't know why there aren't more USB-C hubs like this, but Satechi keeps coming through for me. Again, Corporation. What is that? Save. I did save. I did not chapter mark yet. All righty. See, that was light and easy.
Mm-hmm. They're coming fast.
Yep. Every one of them is going to be small until we get to security bits. Okie dokie. I did that. I did that. Okay. Oh, this one's going to be really fast. All right. Let me put in my chapter mark. Copy link. Copy. And then tiny tips. Come on. Tiny tip. Oh, I get to use the tiny tip music. You know how I love that. Wait till you guys see the picture I chose and got permission to use on my blog post. What was I going to do? Oh, I got to find the tiny tip music. That's it. All right. All right, here we go. You know that music means it's a tiny tip, but this is really more of a nano tip than a tiny tip, but I still think it's a super useful one. The new iPhones 14 Pro and Pro Max have a feature called Always On. With Always On enabled, when your phone is left unattended for a while, or you lock it when you set it down, the screen goes very dim, but not off. You can clearly still see the time at the top and any widgets you've enabled. I have the date and the UV index showing on mine. The UV index is something I watch regularly, so I know whether I need sunscreen for my next long-distance walk. You can also see your notifications on the always-on dimmed screen if you've chosen to enable that feature. Now, most people are not reporting that this always-on screen is causing any battery problems, no significant depletion. But I know people find things like this worrisome. If you want to, you can turn it off by going into Settings, Display and Brightness, and toggling off the always-on switch. But my nano tip is that you can have your cake and eat it too. If you like always on, but you want to save battery under certain circumstances, simply flip your phone over. Lay it face down instead of face up. The display will go completely dark when you do that. You have temporarily stopped always on, but you can have it back by simply flipping the phone face up again. According to Apple's support article explaining the always on feature, they explain that the display also goes completely dark under these circumstances. If you put your iPhone in your pocket or a bag, it'll turn off. Basically, I think if the screen is dark is what they're telling you. If you turn on a sleep focus, it'll go dark as well. Low power mode will turn it off. If you connect your phone to CarPlay, it'll also turn off always on. If you're using continuity camera, the new feature in Ventura that allows you to use your phone as a webcam, it'll turn it off. If you haven't used your phone for a while, your iPhone starts to learn your activity patterns and it turns the display off and on accordingly, including if you set up an alarm or a sleep schedule. Finally, if your iPhone detects that you moved away from it with a paired Apple Watch, always on display will turn on when your Apple Watch is close to your iPhone and turn it off when you get far away. I hope this nano tip lets you enjoy the always on display now that you know you can save battery when you want to. I don't think it's the worst idea in the world to flip our phones face down when we're in social situations, so maybe that's a win-win. Why did it annoy you? Don't put it face up. Put your phone face down. Problem solved. I find it interesting when people turn off certain things like immediately after trying them. They don't try it for a while. Okay. Oh, I'm ready for the visual aid, Steve.
All right.
Well, unless you wanted to be the demo. Actually, you could actually run it.
I could.
Do you want to? Can you do it and mute your mic?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. We're going to have, yeah. Okay. I'm going to let Steve's going to come in and he's going to do visual aids for us. Oh, there. I just clicked on Hindenburg and Edge flew off the other screen and onto this screen. Steve didn't hear me. I'm going to say that again.
What's that?
Steve, I clicked on Hindenburg and Edge jumped from one monitor to the other just now. So yes, it did just what you saw. So Steve, do you remember to try in the air, do this, and then push up on it? And that's what makes it do its best trick.
Yeah, it might be a challenge getting it in the frame here, but
yeah, well, just run around. That'll be funny as all get out. So make sure you mute your mic.
All right. So do you want me to do this while you're recording?
Whenever you find it's entertaining, whatever you'd like to do. You have artistic freedom.
I may go full frame on mine for a bit while I'm doing it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, wait, where's the on switch for this thing?
It's a teeny switch on the cylinder on the bottom. Did you find it?
Ooh.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
Okay. Righty. I'm going to go ahead and start. Actually, I've got to see what you're doing. I'm going to bring it up on screen. All right, here we go. Yeah, maybe as I get into the description. Quick sip. All right. The reviews and explanations I've been doing lately have been pretty meaty, like I said, so it's time for me to give you something completely frivolous. I think you need a Scoot drone to play with inside your house. The Scoot isn't the only drone like this available on the market, but this particular model has a few more tricks than others we've bought. The Scoot drone is a flying saucer-shaped cage about the size of your hand if you had your fingers outstretched. The cage is made of soft plastic that's bendy but still tough enough to hold its form, stiff enough, I should say. Inside the cage is a quadcopter mechanism to make it fly. When you turn on the tiny little switch, a center dome will glow green and lights on two sides will alternate blinking red and green. Initial calibration is suggested, and you do that by flipping the Scoot drone around in your hand a few times, just violently moving it around. After you do that, the center light will blink, telling you that it's in calibration mode, and then you're supposed to set it on a flat surface. Once it calibrates, the center green light will stop flashing, and you're ready to fly. To fly the Scoot, you hold it upright in the palm of your hand and just give it a little push up in the air or even just let it drop. Immediately, it will start to fly around the room. Fairly soon after launching, it will spin in a circle a couple of times. The Scoot is scanning its environment with a sensor on one side and one on the bottom. This lets it know where objects are that it should avoid, like walls. At this point, the Scoot drone will just fly randomly around the room without hitting anything, and it'll go up and down as it travels. While it's fun to watch the cats get annoyed by this, it's more fun to control the Scoot. If you put your hand next to the side of the drone, it will lean over and fly away from your hand. If you want it to go higher, just get your hand under the drone and it will fly up. If you want the Scoot to stop flying, just catch it and turn it upside down. It's surprisingly easy to catch, so this actually works pretty well. What makes the Scoot drone stand out compared to other tiny indoor drones I've played with is that it can actually do a flip. If you wait until it gets near you and low enough, hold your two hands on near either side of the drone. The drone will let you know that it sensed the command by flickering the center light white. Now brush your hand under the drone and it will fly straight up and then do a controlled flip. It's a bit tricky to get the hang of this trick, and I think that's why it's fun. You have to run around your room trying to get in position to get your hands on either side, and one poor move and it'll fly away from you. I keep forgetting which hand gesture I'm supposed to do, so I get a lot of entertainment out of trying to do this one trick. While we're doing the live show here, Steve is actually actively demonstrating this for the live audience, and I can see him kind of running around in his studio trying to catch it. It's pretty funny. I think it's a lot of fun. The Scoot Force One drone charges with an included proprietary USB-A charger cable, so you can charge it from a USB-A wall charger, power bank, computer, or even one of those USB-A car chargers. As I mentioned, the Scoot Force One drone has 4 propellers inside the semi-flexible cage. This design means even if it bumps into something, the plastic is pretty soft and the blades can't hit anything. For some reason, though, that I can't explain, the Scoot comes with replacement propeller blades. The blades have a twist to them, so there's a diagram showing you where to put the replacement A versus B blades. But what they don't explain is how on earth you'd ever damage one of the blades. I think you'd have to really do some work on it. Now, you might be wondering why I refer to this as an indoor drone. That's because Steve and my grandson Forbes thought it would be fun to fly my previous drone outdoors. Since the Scoot flies by mapping the surrounding floor, walls, and ceiling, and flies around relative to those surfaces, what do you think happened when they flew it outdoors? Yep, it flew away. We're pretty sure it landed in our neighbor's pool, but they were too chicken to go ask. If you're looking for an inexpensive gift for someone in your life, or you want to treat yourself to a little silliness, I highly recommend the Scoot Drone Force One for minutes of entertainment till you have to recharge the battery. You can find the Scoot Force One on Amazon for $25. I hear you can let kids play with them too.
Well, I don't know if I got a couple flips in, but I'm not sure they were on camera.
I was cracking up. I could see you just running all over the place. How did he do? Good night, Fallen.
The cats are not happy. Let me put it that way.
Are they in there?
Neither's Tesla. Well, not anymore. Well, one isn't, and Tesla left.
How did he do? Did he keep you all entertained there? He did amazing. Of course he did, Kevin.
It's kind of hard to control, but it seems to have a mind of its own.
Yeah.
On occasion.
Well, yeah. So that's the thing. If you just let it go, it does stuff all by itself. So that's pretty
maneuvers,
fun.
moves around, senses walls.
All right. I've got the next one's going to be fun. Well, another easy little one and cheap. All right. All right. All right, here we go. Recording now. One of the great joys of doing this podcast is the friends I've made all over the world. One of the great friends I've made from the podcast is Helma from the Netherlands. She's the mastermind behind the creation of the Taming the Terminal book. She's the one who helps me when I'm stuck programming. Recently, Helma was trying to explain to me something in text, something really cool she got for her iPhone 14 Pro, and I didn't understand what it was. So she sent me one. The product is from a company called Ringkey, and it's a camera protector for your phone. When I bought my KimGuard iPhone 14 Pro case, it came with a glass screen protector, which I don't use, and a wee tiny protective glass lens cover. I chose not to use the glass lens cover because I figured that Apple had gone to a great deal of care to design and manufacture the glass on the cameras, and adding a piece of glass that came free with a $20 iPhone case would most likely degrade the images I would capture with my phone. The Ringkey camera protector Helma sent me is not a piece of glass that goes over your lenses. It's actually a piece of metal with holes cut out of it for the lenses, which when the Ringkey camera protector is not a piece of glass that goes over your lenses. It's actually a piece of metal with holes cut out of it for the lenses. And when it's stuck with already attached double back tape to your phone, it provides a ledge just slightly taller than your lenses. The main purpose of the camera protector is allow you to set your phone down knowing that the lenses cannot be hitting any of the surface. It also looks really cool. The camera protector she got me is a very dark gray aluminum, and it looks beautiful on the phone. I have to say that it seems to accentuate just how big the camera plateau is on the iPhone 14 Pro. It's already big enough, but it accentuates it because it fills in the gap between the lenses. In reality, it only sticks up a couple of millimeters, but somehow it makes the camera mound look even bigger. You can buy the camera styling Helma sent me for $13 on Amazon. Now, Rinky doesn't just make protection for the iPhone 14 Pro. They make protection for a wide variety of iPhones, Samsung phones, Apple Watches, Pixel phones, OnePlus, and more. They even make protection for foldable phones. I put a link in the show notes to the Rinky website where they list every device they make for any product, and it's a very long list. The main website shows you what they make, but you can't buy anything from that link. And what they actually sell seems to be a subset of what they make. I'll explain in a moment why I say that. To buy from Rinky, I'd suggest starting at rinkystore.com, or you can buy from the Rinky store inside Amazon. By the way, it's spelled Ring, Ringke. I was so enamored with the iPhone camera styling from Rinky that I started poking around on rinky.com to see what else I might need. My Apple Watch is blue, and that's a very pretty color, but it's a tad difficult to find the right watch band to go with that color of blue. A lot of the watch bands I've bought over the years that look great with my unopinionated plain aluminum watches have been gathering dust because they just don't go with that gorgeous blue. When Apple introduced the stainless steel watch, I drooled over it. I thought that was really pretty, but when I tried it on in the store, I found it way too heavy for my liking. It didn't break my heart that I preferred the aluminum model for the weight at close to half the cost, but I still love the look of the stainless. In my poking around on the very long list of products from Rinky, I found out they have a styling option for the Apple Watch, including stainless steel full frame styling. The full frame style comes in 2 mating pieces to cover both the face and back sides of the Apple Watch. The frame has cutouts for the button and digital crown and leaves the face of the watch open. The back piece is designed to allow you to charge the watch, which would be a silly oversight if it didn't. Now, I was a little worried that since it's actually stainless steel, it might add a lot of weight to my watch, but I checked the specs and the new bezel is thin enough that it doesn't add significant weight. I hopped over to Amazon and I bought the stylish stainless steel frame for my Apple Watch Series 7 41 millimeter Apple Watch for a grand sum of $19. Since the Series 7 and 8 are the same size, this would fit on either model. It's also available at the Rinky store at a link I put in the show notes. When the stainless steel frame arrived, I was originally disappointed. Remember when I said that everything on the Rinky website isn't available on the Rinky store or Amazon? Turns out they don't actually sell the full frame 2-piece styling that I just finished describing to you. What I had purchased was just the front bezel styling. Now, my fear was that it would look stupid to have my watch be stainless on the top half and the lower half blue. As it turns out, it's not really noticeable at all. From my vantage point, I pretty much only see the stainless steel with a blue digital crown, and it looks beautiful. Hang on. Beautiful. Beautiful. Someone got close enough to me to peer at the side of my watch, they could definitely see that it's not a full stainless watch. But let's face it, it's really all about how it looks to me. The Rinky front bezel styling attaches to the watch with 4 tiny pieces of very thin double back tape that are already secured to the bezel. They provided little tabs sticking out, so it's easy to peel off the top layer to expose the sticky part. You pop it on the watch, and you're done. They also included a sheet with 4 more custom cut pieces of tape. They said that repeated removal would make it less likely to stick, and I presume that's why you might want a second set of tapes. My plan is to keep it on for a long time if it agrees to stick with me. I've decided to discontinue showering with my watch just in case that would degrade the stickiness. The bottom line is that for only $19, I feel like I have a brand new watch. I can wear all of my bands again, and I have the stainless look I've always envied, but without the weight. It doesn't look exactly like a stainless steel watch, but it makes me really happy. Check out the Rinky store for fun ideas to make your devices feel new again or to protect them from harm.
Well done.
Sandy ordered something for the ring. What? Wait, what? Did they do bad for you? Nothing I do will make it open so I can put my AirTags inside. Huh. Okay, we're going to have
it was malformed. It wasn't made properly or bad design. Do you know what it is, Sandy? Can you tell?
Maybe we should have a play date, Sandy.
I'm wondering if you just got a one-off. This one wasn't made properly and you could send it back and get another one, or does it look like it would never work?
Yeah. I know I've had pocket watches like that I can, or lockets that I could never get open.
Okay, she's awaiting an
Oh.
answer. That's too bad.
That
Well,
is
at
too
least they're
bad.
responding.
I'd like to put a link in the show notes to what it was. I'd like to see what it looks like. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do a write up something about pledge break. How about if I wing it?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You know how that goes when you go off script.
Oh,
Do you put in a chapter mark for pledge break?
I'm trying. Did I get it in time? Yes. It is because it's not in the foreground. So when I hit the second copy, for some reason the right click copy works, but not the second one. All right, I'm going to click that link and check that out later. It does look cool. All right. Let's go here. Last week, I told you that if you're feeling the pinch of inflation and energy prices and all that, that you shouldn't be contributing to the show. But if you're not in that position and you could afford to, it would really make a big difference to me if you could go to patreon.com. Go to podfeed.com/Patreon and sign up to become a patron of the Podfeed podcast. It helps pay the bills and it's not inexpensive to run this show. So I'd really appreciate it if you'd show your support. Well, I said it wrong, but close enough, right?
I think that'll do.
It'll do. It was short. That's all Steve cares, as long as the just so you know, he gives me a really hard time if it goes more than like 30 seconds.
I still think once in a while you should remind people to write a comment in iTunes or whatever they call it. What are we calling it? These Apple
I don't
Music?
know.
Podcasts, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Well, okay. Remind me to write that in next week.
All right.
Where are my security bits? Here we go. YouTube is lagging behind quite a bit, he says.
Well, it's normally around 8-10 seconds. Is it longer than that, John? It's always laggy.
You're
it's all
laggy.
that processing they have to do. A minute. Oh, that is pretty.
Eesh. Wonder what would happen if you refreshed your screen, John. Oh, it's that for everybody. Allison is still talking about the Rinky. Wow. Oh, that's
a lot of processing going on in YouTube tonight, I guess.
All right, let me play this section, see how it sounds. Get it if you show your support. Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Security Bits with Bart Busschots. How are you today this week, Bart, after one whole week of your new job?
I think it's been 2 weeks, actually. But no, I'm good.
Did you solve all of the problems? All the security problems? You got it all fixed now?
Oh, yeah, totally. That's it. Done. Yeah. Next. I don't even know what I don't know yet. Right. But anyway, that's a joy.
What's shaking today?
Well, first off, some feedback and follow-up. So when last we met, we were preparing for problems the next Tuesday when OpenSSL had promised us an emergency patch to deal with a critical vulnerability. And given the last one of those was Heartbleed, we were all bracing ourselves, and I suggested buying your system in a cup of coffee. Well, on Monday, so the day after we recorded, there was an update to that. We've downgraded it from critical to important, and the reason is because on further inspection, the vulnerability was hard to actually trigger. So it was real and it was there, but it wasn't easy to actually abuse. Therefore, it became important but not critical. So that's a good thing. The reason it was hard to use because you had to have a validly signed malicious cert. So as soon as the certificate authorities were told what to look for, that should put an end to that. And you could crash anyone's client with a malicious server, but to crash a server, you would need to have a malicious client who was on a server that used certificate authentication, which I believe our tax office does, but that is like the only time in my life I have used a certificate to authenticate to a website. So thankfully,
I've done the other way around, said ignore the fact that this doesn't have a certificate.
okay, so that is a very different thing. So, but you know the way you can be offered a username and password? It is possible for the server to say, don't give me a username and password, I want your certificate. And then you have to make sure the certificate is installed and it's really, really secure. But it's a pain in the everything.
Yeah.
So very few places do it. The Matter standard is officially out. And I thought I had already talked about this because you and I have talked about it, but that was on literally a different podcast. That was on Let's Talk Apple. So we should say it here.
I'm pretty sure you explained it on Chit Chat, no?
If I'm wrong, then I apologize for repeating myself.
I'll tell you what. No, I know why we didn't, because I had
Micah?
Why am I blanking on his name? From the Twit Network.
You had Micah on to talk
great
about
guy.
it.
Micah Sargent. Yeah, he came on and explained it, and that's why you didn't.
Yes, and Micah was brilliant.
Because we'd just done
I really enjoyed Micah's segment. But yeah, it's official. It's out. 190 certified devices, but it's still very new. So basically, there were lots of links. I found the two most useful and popped them in the show notes if anyone would like to read more. So they are one from Apple Insider.
Okay, and I'm going to pop a link in the Bart and I are having a lot of lag when we record lately. That's why you're hearing us kind of step all over each other.
So does it increase? Does that lag grow?
No, it's there when we first start talking to each other.
Okay, well.
I don't know what it is.
Easier to edit that.
What's that?
Easier to handle that if it's a constant lag than a growing lag.
Yeah, but you know me, I don't like editing, so I've just left it in there. We're stepping on each other. Well, that is pretty much the end of that. I might keep us moving here out to the end. Let's see.
Tell everyone to stay patched so they stay secure.
You didn't sound very confident at the end there. Yeah, I don't know. Stay patched so they stay secure. Everybody do update go iOS 16.1.1.1 or something. Oh, here's Sandy. There's a pic. Let's see. They show how to take it apart. You just do it just like this, Sandy. See? We're just being a troll. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm going to spoil the end of security bits. Let's see if I can find this. Did you all see, obviously everybody's been following this craziness on Twitter and the fake accounts. My favorite one, and I think Stephen Getz sent it to me. He was sending me all kinds of them. He's still sending them to me. Let's see. Let me bring it up. The winners of the fake Twitter accounts, Chiquita Banana. So a fake Twitter account called Chiquita Brands tweeted, "We've just overthrown the government of Brazil." Chiquita, the real account, tweeted back, "We apologize to those who have been served a misleading message from a fake Chiquita account. We have not overthrown a government since 1954.
Well played, Chiquita. They come through.
My God.
That's how you use social media.
Yeah. If anybody needs that link. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I just love it. Too funny. All right. Well, I'm going to close security bits down and go back over here, and we'll read out the end of the show. All right, here goes. We're going to end early, I think, tonight. Well, that is going to wind us up for this week. Did you know you can email me at allison@podfeed.com anytime you like? And guess what you're going to do this week? You are going to email me your I'm still using it stuff. There's tons of stuff I know you're still using. You might have a case or, some kind of gadget, even if it's a cable that you just made you happy when you got it because it was red or something. Whatever you're still using, just write up a paragraph or two so I can read it on the show and send that to me at allison@podfeed.com with the title I'm still using it. You can also send in questions, suggestions, dumb questions. We haven't had any of those in a while. You can follow me on Twitter at Podfeet, and on Mastodon, I am at Podfeet at chaos.social. And of course, there'll be a link in the show notes. If you want to join in the fun of the conversation, you should definitely join our Slack community over at podfeed.com/Slack. And in there, Yop has been teaching a lot of us how to get started with Mastodon because it's pretty weird, but he's been really helping people out, and it's been a lot of fun in there. So remember, everything good starts with podfeed.com. You can support the show, podfeed.com/Patreon. Or if you don't like that idea, how about a one-time donation at podfeed.com/PayPal? And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeed.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic Nosilla castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Here's my Mastodon. Okay, that is... What did you just link us to, John? That is not your account.
Facts about Mastodon?
I'm at chaos.social. So at Podfeet at chaos.social. And so if you just copy that and paste it into the search field, it should find you. Oh, that was supposed to be a picture? That didn't quite work. All right. We're probably ready for a chapter count because it seems that Kevin thinks we should do one.
All right. I'm ready. I count 8 plus 1 for a total of 9. Okay. That's a lot.
That is a lot. Little tiny stories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yep.
Get your money's worth with this show. I don't know how I'm going to do a show next week. It's going to be hard. I'm going to have like 3 days to write it. So if anybody's got reviews or something they want to send in,
Ed, is that where Maxwell Smart defected to? Chaos.social.
What happened right here?
So they stay secure.
Well, that is going to... Oh, that's me ending the show. That was just a little quick.
So they stay secure.
Well, that is... There's the Mastodon we're looking for. All right, now I can move that out a little bit. All right. Maxwell Smart defected too. Nice. All right. I'm going to export and not there. I'm going to export to there. Do you see the pop-up over my window right now?
Nope.
Oh, you know, we're going to end up having faster internet soon. We cut the cord, and as part of our cord cutting, stopping giving our cable company, or it's actually Frontier Fios, because we're not giving them as much money, they're going to upgrade our internet from 100 megabit per second symmetrical to 500 symmetrical.
Half a terabit per second.
Wait, Rose just said, did I miss roll call?
Yeah, about
roll call was
47
minutes ago.
Roll call's at the beginning. Did you just jump on Rose? Is that a joke
she
you're
was
making?
Here. I called her out. All righty. Well, I think we're done early. I think we can let class out early. How do you guys feel about that? You all feel about that, you folks?
Yep. I got to start the chicken.
Start the chicken?
Yeah.
I'm getting hungry. All right, everybody. I think we should call it. Wait, where's Steve? Let me see. I want to be looking at Steve. Where are we? Where are you? You're buried over here. There you are. Oh, did everybody? What do you think of my red glow?
It's illustrious.
Did you guys notice?
Very red.
The light strip used to be up on top and kind of did a purple glow up, but I decided to move it down.
Ed thinks it looks evil.
It looks evil?
Evil red.
Okay, what do you think of the purple? The problem is it blows out.
That looks more like a blue.
Well, maybe that is blue. Where's purple? I can do lavender.
There you go. There.
Oh, somebody just followed me on Mastodon. Gotta go talk to my peeps. Temperature? No. Color. Green? You like green? Eugh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I like the red. That's what I'm sticking. Satanic, so I like it. Can we extend the show? Wife is putting up a Christmas tree. I don't want to get involved. John. Okay, we're calling the show because John's wife needs him. Get back to work, John. Bye, everybody. Bye, Rose. Mwah. And now I have to sit here and pose for a full minute.
Good night, peeps. Have a great week.
While the show shuts down.
Shutting down.
Gee, thanks.